Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're viewing from. This is Laura Thompson, your friendly, fabulous, feisty, fierce, and phenomenal CEO and creator of TAN-TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach. And you're tuned into the coffee break. And guess who I ran into a few minutes ago? I was just kind of minding my own business. And I ran into this phenomenal, fabulous young lady, Chandra Currelly. And she's got so many accolades that we're just going to have to break them up into parts and talk to you about them. But I can tell you this, that she is a great actress, and she's been doing a lot of work with producer and director, writer Tyler Perry. But before we get started, I would like for you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are from your perspective.
You kidding?
So
you kidding me?
no.
Okay. Yeah, it's always hard to talk about yourself, but I'm a singer actress, and the thing about it is music is what brought me to the dance, because if it wasn't for my singing, I've really come full circle. I started acting first. I was a student of LaTanya Richardson and Samuel Jackson. She was my drama teacher, and Sam paid for a workshop for me to study acting. And he learned that I could sing. And he said, you know what? You need to take voice lessons because you'll work more. Of course, Sam would say that because he works more than everybody. So that's what he's thinking about, But I just had some really extraordinary people around me to pour into my dreams and my talents, and I ended up working with Roy Ayers and wow. The SOS band, and I was like 7 years with them. And when we lost our record deal, I began to go back to theater. And when I went back to theater, I was doing a play, and Tyler Perry walked in.
Wow!
And it's been history ever since.
Wow! So that's phenomenal. So he's always, I believe he's tapped into some of the greatest African American talent in this country, and so you're one of them. I was telling Chandra in the green room before we came on that Diary of a Mad Black Woman was my first movie I've ever seen of Tyler Perry. She said it was the first movie. So we're going to talk about some of the movies that you played in. We're going to talk about the sitcom that's coming up, and it's going to be premiering tomorrow for a second season. And we're also going to talk about your music. But I'd like to talk about Diary of a Mad Black Woman. How did you get started in that? And how did you get that part?
Well, I was doing the plays with him. And I think I was doing Medea class reunion, because at that particular time, he was one of the few people that could tour for I think we toured almost 2 years with that play. Wow. And that's because he had gotten so big, and he said to me he said, I'm gonna do a movie. I was like, oh, wow, I'm so happy for you. He said, I want you to read the script. I read the script and I saw my name in it. And I said, oh, wow, you put my name in there. That's nice, Chandra. It's okay, at a jazz club, because at one point he used to come and see me sing at my nightclub acts. So I said, that's what he picked up that. And I guess he said, I do a movie, I'm gonna put Chandra in a nightclub, And then later on, I noticed I had lines. I was like, no, I don't have lines, do I? And so I had lines. And I ended up singing this beautiful song. And I sang, I think, the entire song in the movie, which is a very unusual thing. They usually, you get a line in there and then they pan back to the actors. Well, they did both, they had me and then they would pan to the actors, but I would still be singing. And that song is Love Again. And that's one of the favorite songs out of that soundtrack. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. So that is
it's
awesome.
History now.
Wow, that's awesome. I just love that movie. I could just watch it over and over and over.
Me too. Like my favorite part is when she says, "Stop blowing those bubbles."
Wow. I mean, he's an awesome talent, and he uses people to depict those characters just like
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they actually remind you of relatives and friends and people that you know in the community. It's just
Yeah. I think it has a lot to do with female Black actresses having lead roles and telling their story. Because if you go back, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that, and he still does that. And a lot of times people don't give him the credit for that, but it is. Yeah, people don't think about that, but he was doing a lot of that, giving them leads, giving them power, telling their story, no matter how ugly, the story is. But it has to be told. You tell one, you got to tell the other.
Yeah, he makes people get in touch with themselves and really examine themselves. I think
yes,
through his
yes,
movies.
And the realness, getting from behind the facade, the face that we show to people, and he started revealing things that we don't show people, but we have to deal with, and we end up dealing with those issues with them, and they don't even know why. Right. And that's because we never reveal who we really are.
Wow. So you are tuned into the Coffee Break on TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach. And we're here with Chandra Currelly, and we're talking about a lot of the great things that she's doing. And you can watch it on Facebook Live. If you're watching it on Facebook Live, say hi. You can watch it on tan.tv. You can watch it on TAN's YouTube channel. And we're also on Roku and Apple and Android devices. So we're all over the place. So wherever you're watching, give Miss Currelly a shout out for her great work. Now we're going to flip flop back and forth. We talked about the move, her appearance and her role in Tyler Perry's first movie. And so, but she's also an artist and a vocalist. And she said that's what got her with your music. So give us a sneak peek or just a few words about what that might be.
Well, I do something called Urspa Jazz. It's like urban spiritual jazz. So I have my urban side from working with the various R&B groups, and then I have my spiritual side that came from really working a lot with Tyler and working with various gospel artists, and I've always had a strong spiritual man my spiritual man that always comes out in whatever I sing, and so that's like my jazzy part of me. Yeah.
Wow.
I call it Urspa Jazz. It's like a combination of urban spiritual jazz.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got something coming up next weekend. It's a singing jazz at First Friday, first virtual concert.
Yes. I think that's June 4th, and it's a virtual show, and I'll be doing more of my jazz stuff there. And then on June 11th, I'll be a nation when I do that one.
Wow. So she's just phenomenal. She's an all around person. So let's flip flop again. I think it's a hit sitcom series that you were in for the first. The second season is about to hit, and it's called Bra, and it airs on BET Plus. Tell us about the first season and how that went, how you got involved in it, and what Bra is all about.
Well, I'd gone to the opening of Tyler's new studio, And he had 2 days of it. And the second day, one of the producers, because at first first working there, I did For Better or Worse. And I played Miss V. I played, because if you remember one of his movies called Why Did I Get Married? And this couple came from that. It was kind of like a spinoff from that. And I played their maid, Miss V. And so one of the producers from that show walked up to me during one of the days of the grand opening and said, did somebody call you and tell you about this show? I was like, no, nobody's called. Nobody's called. So I don't know, Hollywood would say that, oh, girl, I'm gonna call you. And so, and I, it's like, okay, if you call, you call. But he called and he said, Tyler's got a deal with Viacom, and he's doing something with BET Plus, and so he has this role that he has, that he want you to do. Well, first of all, he said he told me about the role, and the whole time I was thinking, I was like, okay, so you gonna want me to audition, and then you're gonna hire Loretta Devine. So, but then
he's hard on him. Huh?
Yeah, and then he said, "Oh, well, you just," he said, "No, it's yours if you want it. It's your role.
Wow.
If you want it." And I was like, "Wow!" I couldn't believe it. And so yeah, we went. Time works very fast, and it's young cast, millennials, and so that was interesting in itself. And I play it's about 4 guys, and my son is one of the guys, John, and so we own a sandwich shop, and so